What's up, everybody? Welcome back into Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. It's our weekly tradition here on YouTube. Every platform where you get your podcast, doesn't matter where it is, Google Play, all that type of stuff. We are live in the Half Coast Studios, same studio where we do the Cam and Strick podcast. Again, this is different. We try to focus mostly on the Blues and the NHL, certainly maybe a little bit of a Blues angle, but not always. So tune in throughout the course of the regular season. We'll get into a number of different teams, not just the St. Louis Blues. Jamal Mayers, longtime NHL player, been around forever, doing a lot of broadcasting. I think he worked with the Blackhawks for like 8 or 9 years, doing studio work, Hockey Night in Canada, Sportsnet. Did a lot of studio stuff with the Blues last season. He's actually doing some stuff right now. You'll see him in studio with the San Jose Sharks, doing some radio stuff with the San Jose Sharks, some TV stuff in the future with the Sharks as well. He'll be joining me on a pretty much regular basis starting next week, so we look forward to that, having Jammer back in studio with us. If you've been listening to Hockey Sense over the years, you've heard Jamal with me for several years, going back to when we were at KTRS and then 590 The Fan here locally on radio. But now we have taken Hockey Sense to a full-on podcast, and it's been great. Zachary Bolduc's going to join me, former first-round pick of the Blues. He's made a nice impression here so far in training camp. We'll see where that goes. Listen, and again, a nice impression here so far, but we're just getting started. And the Blues lose last night to Columbus. I try not to get too much into results in the preseason. I know people are asking Craig Berube up in Toronto about, losing the first couple of games, and he had to kind of put the fire out and say, listen, it's just preseason. But I do think internally, NHL teams, they want to win games no matter when they go out and compete. I mean, if you were to ask Drew Bannister right now, do you want to be 0-3 or would you rather be 3-0? He's going to say, yeah, I'd rather be 3-0. You don't want to panic, though. I think you want to basically, maintain a reasonable understanding of where things are at. What have your rosters look like? Who's played with who? Next Tuesday and Thursday, the Blues have 3 consecutive home games coming up in the preseason schedule before they finish things out in Milwaukee to end the preseason. So they'll play Saturday night. Chicago's in town, I believe, Saturday. Next Tuesday and Thursday, you're pretty much going to get the full roster. It'll look like a Blues opening night roster coming up next Tuesday and Thursday. So Saturday night, you're going to see more guys get released or cut or sent back down to the American Hockey League. The AHL team in Springfield, they start their training camp on Monday. So Saturday night, you'll see a number of players be cut from camp. I hate to even put it that way, but you know what I'm saying. There's a number of guys, obviously, in camp who, in all reality, are most likely, or they knew they were headed to the American Hockey League anyway before the start of the season. And so they will be headed to the American League. So their training camp begins Monday. They'll head up to Springfield on Saturday. And then next Tuesday and Thursday, I think you're going to see some real NHL rosters. But Zach Bolduc is going to join me. Like I said, he had 6 shots on goal in the game against Columbus. He looks fast. We all know the skill is there. But there's so much more to it. There is the play away from the puck. There's the defensive side as well. Is he truly ready to play in the NHL full time and be giving a spot, in your top 6? I mean, listen, he's passed every test so far. He looks good. I'm not going to sit here and say that he doesn't, because he looks really good. But when you look at Thomas and Kyrou, for example, I mean, is that a spot for Zachary Bolduc right now to play with Thomas and Kyrou? It very well may be. I do like Brandon Saad there. I think Saad and Kyrou, even going back to last season, I think they showed good chemistry with one another. For whatever reason, I think Saad calms Kyrou's game down. They work well together. Obviously, Robert Thomas can do his thing. And we haven't seen them play a whole lot together here in the preseason. Jake Neighbors was on the ice today during practice with Thomas and Kyrou. You'll see a lot of the familiar faces, familiar names playing in the home games coming up starting Saturday. So maybe that's a line to watch come Saturday with Neighbors playing with Kyrou and Thomas. We'll see how that plays out. Listen, trying to figure out who's going to play with who and what these lines are going to look like is still a work in progress right now. I think if you just build it up the middle and you say Thomas, Buchnevich, Texier, Foxa, are those your four centers right now? Is Braden Shen starting the season on the wing? I think there's a very good possibility of that. We haven't even seen Alexander Texier play in a preseason game yet. So I would imagine we're going to see him for the first time on Saturday night here in St. Louis. And I'm looking forward to seeing him play just because we haven't seen very much of him. And I think he can play. But again, I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table. So that's kind of where we're at from that standpoint. I think he's going to have an opportunity to lock down that third line spot up the middle. I would guess a guy like Holloway could flank him on the third line. What that other third line winger looks like remains to be seen, I guess. There's just a lot unknown. I mean, I look at the Blues as a whole right now. They've got a big palette of paint. You know, like a paint palette, you know, with all the paint that's on the palette. And you're just not exactly sure how it's all going to come together. You start painting and, you know, what's it going to look like when it's a finished product? I think that's kind of where we're at with the Blues. You know, what's the fourth line going to look like? Is Matthew Joseph a guy that's going to play on the third line? Is he going to be on the fourth line playing with Foxa? I mean, Foxa's a guy that can obviously slide up and down your bottom six. But Toropchenko obviously is a guy who can, you know, solidify a spot on the fourth line. I think they want to see a little bit more from Toropchenko, not in terms of him making the team, but you know what I'm saying. Just see him get to his game, play through guys, show that physicality. But, you know, he scored 14 goals last season. I think he's in your top 12 when the season gets going, talking about Alexei Toropchenko. But trying to figure out who's going to play with who remains to be seen. I think the thing we do know right now is you probably have Buchnevich and Neighbors as it sits right now with Shen, Kyrou, and Thomas. Who's going to be the other winger on that line? Is it going to be Bolduc? And that's the biggest challenge because I mentioned Brandon Saad. It's for Bolduc, can he push out somebody? Because that's what it's really all about. He's going to have to push somebody out in order to take a spot. But he's looked good. He's had a great camp, man. And, you know, they wanted to see him come in and have a good camp. I think he's done everything he's needed to do so far. But he's going to have to certainly elevate in certain areas. But he's getting scoring chances for himself. He's got that quick ability to read plays fast, move the puck, get the puck off his stick quickly, and he can play with good players. And I'd like to start seeing the Blues start, you know, getting some of these guys here. You know, Dalibor Dvorsky is a guy that obviously gets a lot of attention because of his draft position. He was taken 10th overall. We got really excited about Dvorsky when you see him play against kids his own age. And, you know, there's a reason for it, man. He's an elite player among his peers. But getting to the NHL at this age and at this stage isn't always easy. You know, and let's face it, he is a guy that's, you know, had fewer, you know, you look at a guy like Bolduc, for example, compare him with Dvorsky. Dvorsky is 1 year behind Bolduc just in terms of professional experience, which makes a difference. I don't see Dvorsky making the team. I don't think anybody would be surprised by me saying that right now. I just don't think there's a spot for him. Needs to probably get a little bit quicker, get some of those junior hockey habits out of his system, which is very natural for a young player. But those are the things you want to see from a guy like Dalibor Dvorsky. I'd rather see him go down and then truly evaluate where he's at and see what he looks like and what kind of production we see from a Dalibor Dvorsky on in the American League, you know. And Bolduc very well may join him. I don't know how that's going to play out. We're going to have him on, but I like what I see from Bolduc. And I'd like to see him, you know, land a spot here with the roster, just like I said, to start getting these guys here. You know, Dvorsky should be in position at this stage a year from now to truly push to make the roster, assuming all goes well this year. Maybe he even gets games this year if the Blues run into injury issues or he gets a late season call-up. Who knows how that's going to play out. And then you start getting the Swedes here in Lindstein and Stenberg and some of these guys. So you just can't get all these guys here at once. So again, in terms of staggering these guys in, that would be ideal. But they got to be ready. They've got to be ready. It's tough to get a real evaluation right now in terms of what we've seen so far from preseason. The games have been kind of what they are. The first couple of days of training camp, you're allowing your veteran guys to kind of ease their way in. You're more evaluating a lot of the young guys. It's an opportunity to look at the junior kids before they head back to the CHL or wherever they're headed to play junior. And, that's maybe the only opportunity all season long that you really get to see them here in St. Louis, right? So you watch those guys, see where they're at, see where their improvement is versus the last time you saw them skate, and get an opportunity to see them on the ice with the big dogs and how they compete with veteran players. Well, now those guys have moved on. The junior guys have gone back, and now we get that next layer of American League players. They'll eventually be leaving on Saturday, like I said. Then you get down to around the top 28, 29, 30 guys, somewhere in that range. And then things start getting for real. You want to establish some type of chemistry with one another because that's an issue too. I was talking with some guys, and I was having a veteran player tell me I haven't really even met Radek Faksa yet because they haven't been in the same group. They haven't played in games together. The way the schedule sets up in terms of that last preseason game, they've got to quickly get out to Seattle to prepare for the season opener. There's no time to have like a bonding trip like you've seen Doug Armstrong like to do with his team the last couple of years. There's no time in the schedule to do that this year. So that's not going to happen. So guys haven't really even had an opportunity to get around one another. Listen, I thought it was good to see Ryan Suter last night. I thought he played a real strong game in his first action with the Blues, wearing number 22. I mean, he's 39 years of age. It's kind of hard to really evaluate him. If you were to evaluate him last night, you'd say, wow, he looks calm, he looks composed, he looks under control, and, yeah. He's seen everything. Nothing's going to faze him. He's certainly going to be in position to be able to come in and play in a preseason game and look like he did last night. He played 26 minutes in the game against Columbus. So, and that was on Wednesday night. 26 minutes, though. Harrington got hurt early in the game, Blues defenseman. So that opened the door for guys to get additional minutes. I think everybody played over 20 except for Kessel. A lot of power plays. He didn't get much power play time. I thought Justin Faulk looked great on the power play. And I think he pretty much has it on lockdown now as your power play quarterback, your number one PP quarterback. I think he's done it before. He's got the experience. I would assume Broberg's going to get an opportunity, going to get a look to be able to quarterback that power play 2 unit. But don't rule out a guy like Ryan Suter. This guy's been on the power play for pretty much his entire career. I don't know if the Blues want to overextend him with too much on his plate from a special team standpoint, but he looked comfortable running the power play last night and the action that he saw when he got on the ice for the power play. But I like Ryan Suter. I had a long conversation with him today. Yeah, sometimes you hear things about players, and I just like to reserve judgment until you get an opportunity to speak to him on your own and really talk to him. I had a great conversation with him. Great guy. Loves hockey, man. Just loves the game. And that's why he's still doing it. I asked him flat out, why would you want to come here? At this stage of your career, family staying in Minnesota, and, the Blues would not be considered a Stanley Cup contender. I don't think anybody's putting them in that category. They hope to get back into the playoffs. But I don't think that was a big deal for him to feel like he's got to go to a team that has a chance to win. I do think 1,500 games would be something that he'd love to reach. He's 56 games away from that. I think he's pretty much in his head. I don't want to speak for him, but this is most likely the final year of his NHL career. Year number 20. And he's been through an awful lot. His dad obviously was a USA Olympian on that 1980 team. He passed away a few years back. I got to know his dad pretty well on the youth hockey trail. He ran that midget program for the Madison Capitals, and I was coaching with our midget program with the AAA Blues with Scott Sanderson for over 10 years, and we played Madison every year multiple times and had a great relationship with that organization and a great relationship with Ryan Suter's dad, Bob Suter. And this guy was, you talk about a rink rat. He mopped the floor, he swept the floor, he drove the Zamboni, he coached, he ran the AAA program, he did everything that you could possibly do at a rink. And I love those type of people. I love those stories. So Ryan Suter, he grew up around it. His uncle Gary, he said he called him the other day. His uncle Gary was roommates with Al McInnes for 9 years in Calgary too. So there's always a connection. But his kids play youth hockey. So I thought it was cool, man. He even said he'd like to come on the ice one of these days. He said during the season he's going to be bored, not being around his family. And that's why this year will most likely be his final year. It's tough to be away from his family. He's got 4 kids. So it's going to be good to have a guy like Ryan Suter here, man. I think it'll help a lot of the young guys he likes. He had great things to say about Matt Kessel, too. I didn't think Kessel had his best game against Columbus. Turned the puck over a couple times, took a monster hit behind the net that I really didn't even see coming. But nonetheless, he took the hit, and I'm not too worried about Kessel. But I think that's going to be a great experience for him and an opportunity to play with a guy with as much experience as Ryan Suter. But we've got Zach Bolduc coming up here in just a couple of minutes. I'm looking forward to this conversation, man. I like his game, like what he brings to the table. Now we'll get to know him a little bit more. I've interviewed him in the past, both on television and obviously on the radio. So the first time now that he's come in and joined us here at the Half Coast Studios, brought to you by First Community. First Community, sign your son or daughter up today for Little Blues. If you want to get your son or daughter into hockey, man, this is the best way to do it. It comes with all the equipment. Get yourself hooked up. Small cost. Just a little bit of money. I think you get 6 or 8 sessions, great instruction, great coaching, but all your equipment, top to bottom, from skates to helmet. You can get a stick. So if you don't want to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into the game, then and you want to make sure your son or daughter actually loves the game and that they want to play, this is the best way to do it with First Community. Plus, they've got the great home loans, first-time buyer programs, great auto loans. They're one of the only banks I've ever heard of that give you the same rate for a used car or a new car. So firstcommunity.com, check that out. We love having them on board here on Hockey Sense. Of course, Lordo's Diamonds, get that special someone, something special in your life. Are you looking to pop the question? No better place to do it. Right there in the heart of the do. 314-432-8008. Lordo's Diamonds. Say hi to Mike and Jimmy Lordo. Let them take great care of you. Best customer service you'll find anywhere. They've been around for almost over 70 years. So that tells you everything you need to know. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop. Locally owned, the Wallace family. And they just flat out get it done. That's the one common denominator you find with a lot of our sponsors here on Hockey Sense is they're all integral parts of the community. And you get that with Dirt Cheap. They got a bunch of locations, some drive-through locations. You never even have to get out of your car. Curbside pickup. Download that app to get all these incredible deals on their app. Don't sleep on the paper goods and all the party goods that they have there. If you're looking to have Halloween parties coming up, fall parties, Thanksgiving's around the corner, stock up on everything you need. They've got that walk-in beer cooler, best selection of beer, wine, and booze you'll find anywhere. Tons of locations. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop, baby. 314 Sports Cards. Devin's saying out this week. We hope to get him back on next week. We got to see what's going on in the card industry. But I love Devin, love his staff, 9640 Ala Boulevard. Stop on in. Best selection of hockey cards you'll find anywhere in North America. And they've got the boxes, they've got the individual packs, but you can always get the individual cards too, which very few hockey shops or hockey or any card shops will sell the individual cards. You got to buy the packs usually, or the boxes. Now, if you just go in there and say, hey, look, I'm looking for a Zach Bolduc, I'm looking for a Jordan Kyrou, a Robert Thomas, an Ovechkin, a Matthews, a Marner, McDavid, Matthew Tkachuk, whatever it is you're looking for, they'll find it for you. And it's great for the kids. They go through all the individual cards and they pick out something they want. It's not just hockey cards, too. If you're into soccer, PGA, NBA, NFL, MLB, obviously, WWE, they got everything. but their bread and butter is their hockey selection. Nobody does it better than 314 Sports Cards. Best selection of hockey cards. Devin Sant, my main man, go say hi to Devin. Get in there today, 9640 Olive Boulevard in Olivet. Four Hands Brewing Company. They got that mango lemonade hard seltzer, baby. The Chemistry Podcast mango lemonade hard seltzer. Back on the shelves now. Do me a favor. When you pick up a Chemistry mango lemonade hard seltzer, take a picture, send it to me on Instagram. We'll post that for you. Hashtag Hockey Sense. I love it. Hashtag Chemistry Podcast, whatever you want to do. But pick some up. Let me know what you think. I think it's the best hard seltzer on the market. I don't think there's anything even close. And Four Hands has a bunch of them, but this is by far the best one, in my opinion. They've got a bunch of tasting rooms. The downtown St. Louis tasting room, 1220 South 8th Street. Get a cocktail if you like the 1220 spirits. They've got food from Peacemaker at the new Kirkwood location, which is an incredible location, and then food from High Point out there in Chesterfield. Great place for the family out there in Chesterfield because they've got that whole outside area. Kids can run around. They can play soccer, do whatever. Huge big screen television. Hey, the first couple games of the season are going to be on national television, so we're not even broadcasting the games on Bally. So that's where you might find me out there at Four Hands, just watching the game on one of those big screens outside. Love everything they do over there at Four Hands. Kevin Lemp and company, flat out getting it done. All right, let's step aside. Zachary Bolduc, man, looking forward to this conversation with the Blue Sniper. This guy can flat out shoot the puck. He's got good speed, and he's making a push, trying to make an NHL roster out of camp for the first time in his young hockey career. We'll talk to him coming up next. I'm Andy Strickland. This is Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. We drop every Friday here on YouTube and every place you get your podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Live from the Half Coast Studios, Zachary Bolduc coming up next. Don't go anywhere. All right, back here on Hockey Sense. Great to have you with us as always, man. Preseason is preseason, but listen, it always means more to certain players than others. Some guys, I'm talking to Ryan Suter today. I don't know how important the preseason is for him versus a guy like Zach Bolduc, who's just getting into the, beginning his professional career. Played last season, obviously, down in the American League, and then finished the season up here in the NHL and finished strong. What's it like this year, Zach? How much are you enjoying being in camp? And I'm always curious, getting those games in at the end of last year, how important was that for your confidence?
Like you said, those games give me a lot of confidence. I think I did well last year, and I came with the mindset of doing better this year. I think I showed in the 25 games that I played last year that I can play with these guys, and for me was just to come here and show them what I can do and show them what I can do to help the team.
Hey, is training camp hard?
Oh yeah, it's a good training camp. I was staying hard. Practices are hard, but it's part of the process of building a winning team. So for sure it's hard, but I think it's pretty good for the team.
All right, so how do you prepare yourself for camp, both mentally and physically? I'm sure you're on the ice during the course of the summer, and we'll talk about that, but just mentally preparing yourself for the grind to make sure that you're ready to go every single day.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, during the summer, you try to get ready for the season. I always had in the back of my mind to be ready. I have my goals. I know what I can do. I think I prepare myself well for this training camp. But yeah, I'm just always keeping the same goals in my head, and that's the only thing that's in my head during the summer.
Hey, how does it work during camp? Like, are you on your own for dinner every night? Like, do you go meet up with the boys and have dinner? Do you like to hang out by yourself? Like, what's your routine like when you're away from the rink?
Well, I like to do a little bit of everything. I went for dinner a few nights ago with the boys. I got a little kitchen here, so I can do my own dinner too. So, I'm just enjoying St. Louis. Weather's nice. They have nice restaurants too. So, I'm just. I would say today we had a good practice, so I'm just taking the day easy, looking at watching the golf and probably football tonight. But I'm trying to be around the boys as much as I can.
You like football?
Yeah. Well, I like football. I don't think I know a lot about football, but yeah, I love watching it.
Are you on a fantasy team? You play fantasy football?
Yeah, I'm still working on my management side, kind of learn a little bit who's the best player, and maybe next year I'll jump in this.
Hey, during the summer, I'm curious your routine. Like as a hockey player, I always like asking guys, and even going back to when you were a kid, Zach, would you skate like all the time in the summer? Did you take time off after the season and take a mental break, or were you right at it and get on the ice? Like how often are you skating during the summer throughout the weeks?
Well, like you said, when I was younger, I did pretty much like all the other young guys. I did summer hockey, had some summer tournament a little bit everywhere, but growing up, I just started to slow down a little bit in this. I was playing baseball too during the summer, growing up, so I had to kind of manage all this in my schedule. But right now, in the past summer, I think I would say like it always depends on what kind of are we in the summer. So, but like I'll start probably with once a week, and maybe 1 or 2 week after I'll go two, three, and I'll try to finish the summer with a four workout and four skate during a week. So when I'm coming here, I'm ready to go.
So what are you doing mostly? Are you doing skating? Are you doing skills? Do you like to jump in and play a little bit of some scrimmaging and do some shinny? Like, what do you like to do the most? Like, how do you balance all of that?
Uh, yeah, for sure. Like you said, you have to balance everything. But I did a little bit of skills, like once a week, uh, with the same group of guy. I had another skill practice with another group of guy, and I was playing once a week, I would say, just to see the visual, have some game situation a little bit. So yeah, that I think I love to do skills during the summer, but at some point you got to turn that switch on and kind of get your mindset into game.
What about the skating? I mean, you look fast, you look quick. Like, are you doing specialized just skating, no pucks? Is that something you did, throughout the time you were growing up as a kid? And do you continue to do that now during the summer?
I've done a lot of skating session growing up. I mean, from probably I don't know 12 and 16, I probably did a lot of skating during the summer, but right now I'm more of skating with the puck and those kind of skills because yeah, it's pretty nice if you're skating well and it's pretty nice if you're fast, but now you got to do it with the puck. So for me, that was one thing I really want to work on during the summer, and so yeah, I would say that I'm not doing as much power skating or skating practice, but I'm trying to keep up on this and doing it with the puck. Yeah.
What position in baseball did you play?
Uh, I was I played shortstop, catcher, and I was kind of pitcher for like 1 or 2 innings at the end of the game. So, but yeah, were my position.
How old were you when you quit? When you stopped playing baseball?
I think it was my the summer before I turned junior. So I think at like 14, I played my last baseball season, and I just started playing again this summer, just with some guys back home in Quebec, just for fun, just 1 or 2 times a week, just to change my mind and do something else than training and hockey during the off season.
How do I pronounce your hometown? Is it Trois Rivières? How do I say it?
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I mean, in French we go Trois-Rivières, but I think that's hard for you guys with the R.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trois-Rivières. And well, I grew up in Trois-Rivières, but right now my parents are moved to Bécancour. That's like right beside Trois-Rivières. So
Is it
yeah.
nice? Is it nice up there? Like a nice spot? Like beautiful? Like I mean, I'm picturing like water everywhere. Is it nice like that or no?
Well, yeah, for sure. There's water. There's a little beach everywhere. For sure, it's not Mexico, but like there's a way to have fun, and Yeah, but it's like not a big town, not a small town. It's like the middle of it. It's like right between Montreal and Quebec, so it's exactly the middle size of both of these city. But the 2 or 3 past summers, I've been in Quebec just for training and yeah, and training. Yeah.
Were you a Canadians fan growing up?
Yeah.
Like diehard? Like diehard?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was, and I still follow them because I got some of the my friends that are on the team, and I skate with some of the guys during the summer too. So yeah, I was still following them.
Remind me, did you play them? Did you play in Montreal last year? I'm trying to think when you guys would have gone there.
No, no, I never played in Montreal yet. Hopefully it's gonna happen this year, but no, I didn't play against Montreal yet.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So give me some of the names of the guys that you skate with during the summer. What NHL players are around that you're working out with?
I'm working out with Yanni Gourde from Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working out with Matt Olivier from Columbus. Uh, Jacob Peltier from Calgary. Uh, yeah, these are the guys you probably know, and there's a bunch of, well, we're like 8, 10 guys with our off ice training, but rest are like guys from Europe or American League guys. But and off ice is pretty much the same guys. I mean, we try to work out together and kind of schedule our ice time together, so then we can so then we the schedule will work for everyone here.
Do you notice a difference in the pace of the game, like where you would have played last night in Columbus on Wednesday versus the games down the stretch in the NHL last season? Is there even a different level in the regular season versus what you're seeing right now in the preseason, or is it pretty close in terms of how hard guys are going?
Yeah, well, for sure, I didn't play a lot of games last year, so my I think I think the level is the same. I think the execution and like the positioning of everyone is a little bit off, but I think it's something that's gonna come through the practices and the games through the season. But I think the level is good. I mean, the guys want to make the team. Guys want to push for a spot in the team. So everyone's working hard and blocking shots and giving some hits. So I think no, I think the pace is pretty good. For sure, the execution and the timing and everything is gonna be better uh, during the season. And like I said, with the practices and the games. But yeah, I think the level is pretty good.
So this is your third NHL camp, right? I think your third camp. And a couple of years ago, remember you got sent back early, and then you go back and you win the Memorial Cup, and then last year you had a great camp when you came last season. Do you think, looking back at it now, that was the best thing for you? Like, I didn't go your way your first camp, but maybe it was like a way to, like, hey, you know what, I gotta bring it every single day, and it got you focused in terms of where you needed to get your game to get to where you're at right now.
Yeah, yeah. For like my first camp was, I mean, it was my first camp, so I was like, just everything was so like amazing around me, and I got hurt during that camp, so I played only one preseason game, and then got sent back to junior. Had a season there. Then my second camp, I came. I was 19 years old, and we had a really good team back in Quebec City with the Rampart. So I was kind of my head was there pretty much all camp long. I knew we had an amazing group of guy and amazing coaching staff. So I knew we could like achieve our goals. So I think mentally I wasn't here. Last year I think I learned from the years before, and I was ready to turn pro. I mean, I think with the last season that we had in Quebec, I learned a lot, and I had great coaching staff too. So I felt I was ready, and I played started the year in the American League. I think it was good for me. I mean, I think I learned a lot there. Trying to bring my best game and learn and get better every practices, every game. So. And this year, I mean, I'm with the 25 game that I played last year. I came here with a lot more confidence. I realized last year that I can play with these guys, and that I can help this team to win some games. So I'm pretty confident. I mean, I'm playing. I think I'm doing well right now. I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing right now.
So what's the bigger jump? Is it going from junior to the American League or from the American League to the National League? Like how big is the jump from junior to the American League?
For me, I would say the biggest jump was from junior to American League because you got so many little details that you don't realize back in junior because you're making 100 points per year. But when you go in the American League, you realize that you got to play defense. You realize you got to slow down the opponent. You realize you got to use your stick. You got to be smart. You might not be the strongest, but you gotta use your brain in those situations. So I think for me was the hardest step was junior to the American League, and I and then from the American League to the National League, I think guys are just so good and they make the game so much easier. Like last night I played with Tomer and Ruzi. I mean, these guys are like all-star in the league and they make the game so much easier. Ruzi got so much speed and a great shot, and Tomer can hold on that puck and find some passing that no one sees. So no, I mean I think it's a good process, like to go through American League and play a few games in the national, and I think it really helped me to get ready for this year camp.
All right, so I want to talk about that. So last night, yeah, you played with Kyrou and Thomas. Got a great opportunity, started to get some power play time. You had 6 shots on goal. You're noticeable offensively. So how much in your mind is it to make sure you're doing the right things away from the puck and defensively and all of that? Like, are the coaches on you about that nonstop?
I would say last year they were on me a lot, and because that was the thing that I had to improve, and I really want to improve. And I think I got better, and I still have to get better, but I'm putting a lot of focus on this. I think I know off the offense and the points are gonna come, and but for me, the key is just to play well defensively in my zone and manage the puck well and use my body in some situation. For me, it's just to be focused every time you go on the ice. I mean, it's everything's going so fast, and if you just do one mistake, you can lose the game because of this. So I'm just trying to be the best version of me, and like I said, I want to help this team to win some games.
All right, so who are some veteran guys that you go to, like when you have questions, or guys that maybe have gone out of their way to help you with some things that you've become close with? Like, who are some of the guys you've gotten to know real well?
Well, for sure, a guy like Shinner is always there to talk to help you. I didn't skate much with him during the camp this year, but we see each other and we talk. And there's a bunch of honestly, everyone's really nice. I mean, a guy like Parenko, like I mean, I could name everyone. Like everyone's got so much respect, even if it's your first year or your 20th year, like suits this year. So uh, it's fun to be part of this, and we got a younger guys that are. Well, I'm young, and there's a lot of young guys that are coming in. So it's fun to hopefully be part of this at the beginning of the season.
Isn't that kind of crazy though that Ryan Suter was playing in the NHL like right around the same time you were born? Like that's how long he's been in the league.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was talking about this with I don't remember who, but yeah, it's crazy. He's starting his 20th season, and I'm 21, so crazy. And I have a lot of respect for him. Yeah.
All right, so what do you want to accomplish now the rest of camp? I mean, obviously you're trying to make the team, but do you like what you've shown so far? Do you think that you've got another level to show? Like where's your mind at in terms of, you know, what you've been able to put on the table so far for management and the coaches to evaluate?
I think I did well. For sure, you always want to do better. I think, like you said, I had good looks in the games that I played. I just want to. I'm a shooter. I want to score some goals. So for sure, put some points on the board. Help my team to win some games and score some goals will be something that I want. But for me, like you said, I just want to make the team. I think that's my main goal, and that's the only thing I have in my mind right now. And I'm just I'm just trying to learn every day too from the veteran, and yeah, for me, it's just work hard every day and try to deserve a spot on the starting lineup on the October 8th first game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
In Seattle.
yeah.
So, do the coaches? I'm curious. Do they give you any feedback? Do they say, "Hey, listen, you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good things. We want you to do better in this area. Start working on this. Want to see more of this?" Like, or do they not say anything?
No, I got some talks here and there with few coaches. I had video was it 2 days ago with Drew. So I mean, it's the coaching staff's amazing. Everyone's want to take the best out of each player. So
Mhm.
it's fun. It's fun to be part of this. And yeah, like I said, their coaching staff is amazing. And I'm just I consider myself pretty lucky to be in the Blue organization.
Okay, a couple more things for you. How is Drew? Is he the same coach that you had down in the minors? Is he any different being up here versus how he was down in Springfield?
Uh, yeah, for sure, he's a little different. I mean, he learned some stuff, and he learned some stuff, and he's now in the National League. Like it's not anymore the American League or a development, whereas the development is important. Here, you have to win, and it's a winning business. So, yeah, but he's still a great person, a great coach, a person who's easy to talk with, and yeah, he's I think I have a good relationship with him.
All right, so what's your family like right now? Like going through all of this? Like, are your parents calling you every day? They want to know what's going on. Are they on the edge of their seat? Are they as much as they can trying to watch the games and pay attention? Like, how often do you call home and talk to your mom and dad?
Well, I probably talk to my family every day, like by text or I'm well, they're watching pretty much all the game of the Blues, and uh yeah, they follow me and they hope the best for me. And I don't call them every day, or because they know that I'm kind of focused into what I'm doing. And I know they're there to support me, and I know they're watching, so it's always fun to know that.
Is your dad? Did he play? Like, does he know the game? Like, will he say, "Hey, listen, you got to do more of this. You got to do that"? Like, was he always like that when you were a kid? Like, how involved was he with your hockey? And is he the same way now? Even though even as a professional.
Uh, well, growing up, he coached me few years here and there, but wasn't like the head coach or something. So it was just a dad to coach his son. But uh, right now, since I turned pro, he's more kind of a not a fan, but like he's just wishing me the best, and he knows that I got a great agent, I got great coaches here. Uh, you know that I have good person around me, so he's just there helping me. Just he's not afraid to tell me the truth, and we're just I think we have a good relationship. Yeah, we like I said, he's not anymore giving me like advice or anything, but uh, he's there to tell me when I'm doing good games or not.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Growing up, I would say Crosby, but like when I was like probably 12 or between 12 and 15, I could say probably McDavid. He's been in a while in the league for a while, so these guys are just another level. I mean, McDavid's his speed, his IQ, just the skills he got. It's crazy to imagine to play against these guys, but yeah, I think these are the two guys that I really look up when I was younger.
Have you played against either one of those guys or no?
I did, yeah, I did. I played against McDavid 2 times, I
Okay.
think.
I was gonna say, who's the best player you played against so far that you were like, damn, like just watching this guy get it on the ice? Anybody else besides McDavid though that just caught your attention? You're like, I'm in the National League last year. I know it's just 25 games, but you played against good players every night, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, there's good players in every team, but I played against Colorado. I like McCarr or McKinnon. These
Yeah.
guys are pretty impressive too. I mean, they're so strong, so fast, and You got to be careful when they're on the ice because they can hurt you from wherever they are on the ice.
Yeah. Listen, man, keep doing what you're doing, and have a great rest of camp, rest of preseason. It's been fun watching you, and thanks for doing this, and enjoy yourself, man. Go get some rest. You need to get some sleep as well. Watch some football tonight, and we'll see you at the rink over the weekend, man. But it's gonna be a lot of fun down the stretch here in training camp. So all the best to you, and thanks for doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right, Zach. We'll talk soon, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Zach Bolduc, man. Listen, I appreciate these guys taking time to come on, and again, they don't know their situation. They don't know if they're going to make the team. I mean, I think he's put his best foot forward so far, and he's given himself an opportunity and a real shot at this. I would not be surprised to see Zach Bolduc make the roster. I think they were hoping to see him come into the season and come into training camp, I should say, and perform pretty much the way that he has. Now, are there some learning curves and some things that he needs to improve on and that they're going to want to see him get better at? There's no question. He's only 21, but there's probably some guys who are 30 years old that they would like to see improve on some things too. But at 21, he's getting a great opportunity. He talked about playing with Thomas and Kyrou. And it's just a matter of really trying to find a way to play in the top two lines in your top six. Who's he going to push out? And would they keep him here if it meant that he wasn't in the lineup to start the season? I don't know if they would do that. He needs to play games, needs to be on the ice, needs to be confident. And I don't think they would just keep him here if he wasn't going to be a regular in the lineup. But it gives you some speed. This guy can play. I think he showed it even down the stretch last season. Doug Armstrong said to Cam and I when he was on our podcast recently that, rarely does he tell a coach who to play and whatever. But that was one of the mandates that he had for Drew Bannister when he took over for Craig Berube, was that Bolduc's got to play and Dean's got to play. I don't know if Dean, if there's a spot for him, there could be. Who knows how that's going to play. I'm not ruling anything out. But I think of all the young guys that we came into camp talking about, he's probably flashed the most. And that's a real good sign. And let's hope that continues for his sake, man. He's a great kid. And you can see that in the interview just now. Again, Hockey Sense brought to you by First Community. There's so much going on with First Community right now. And they've got all these car loan deals, home loan deals. They got the back-to-school auto loans. I know summer's over, and everyone's back in school. But listen, you can get some great rates. So whether they're going away to college or maybe you're just ready for them to drive themselves, you don't have to be their personal Uber driver anymore. All you parents out there, you know what that's like. I don't know if I should be excited for my kids to get their license or not. But at the same time, the fact that you don't have to drive them around all the time, that must be nice. Most places charge a higher rate for used cars, but not for new cars. That doesn't make any sense. And that's why First Community says it doesn't make any sense either. That's why they give you the same rate if it's new or used. So auto loan rates have just gone down at First Community. So you can get a 60-month rate for under 6%. That's a great rate. So do your homework, compare your rates for yourself. You'll see First Community is always competitive with great rates. 90 days before the first payment is due. How about that? First Community is always competitive with great rates and 90 days before the first payment is due. You'll take that. FirstCommunity.com. Nobody supports hockey better than our friends over at First Community. 314 Sports Cards, Devin Sant, everybody over there. Hey, get in there and say hello to them. Listen, they got the TVs, the couches. You just want to chill and sit around and watch sports, you can do that. Shoot the stuff with the boys and everything. And look at all the individual cards and the packs and the boxes. Get yourself some cards. This card collecting business is just getting crazy. Absolutely crazy. And looking forward to getting Devin Sant back on here with us here on Hockey Sense. Again, 9640 Olive Boulevard. Four Hands Brewing Company. Get that mango lemonade hard seltzer. Get it today. Of course, our friends over there at Lordo's Diamonds. Lordo'sDiamonds.com. Blue Note Roofing. Listen, Dave Novak is the best in the business when it comes to roofing. Soffit, fascia, siding. Nobody does roofing like David Novak. Plus, he's a longtime Blues season ticket holder, loves talking hockey with you. But again, if you're looking for a new roof, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, whatever it is, call him today. Let him take care of you. Let him come out and give you a free estimate. This guy is the best in the business, man. Do not go anywhere else. But other than Blue Note Roofing, 314-920-5713. You probably saw his logo on the screen here during the course of the show. Blue Note Roofing. Give him a call today. Blues play Saturday, then a couple of games next week before they wrap up the preseason. Looking forward to seeing how all this plays out. I really am. And it's going to be interesting to see how the camp goes the rest of the way. They're working hard. A lot of battle drills today. There's no question they are competing in training camp. But I think the coaching staff, they're probably a little frustrated. They'd like to get that first W. I know it's preseason, but there is something to be said for winning. They probably would like to win. I don't get caught up in wins and losses, but again, I'm not the coach. And the coaches probably don't a whole lot either. They want to see players playing winning hockey, though. And typically, if you're doing that, then the results are going to be there. So again, support all our sponsors. Four Hands Brewing Company, Dirt Cheap Fun Fun, your one-stop party shop. Of course, our title sponsor, First Community. But Blue Note Roofing, again, 314-920-5713. Call David Novak today. Let him come out and take care of you. Nobody does roofing better than David Novak. And, of course, 314 Sports Cards. For everybody affiliated with Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community, over here at the Half Coast Studios, we appreciate all of their help, Aiden, everybody else. And certainly Zach Bolduc for joining us on this edition of Hockey Sense. I'm Andy Strickland, reminding you to keep your head up and your stick on the ice. And we'll do it again next week, all season long, right here live from the Half Coast Studios, brought to you by First Community. Have a great weekend, everybody.